on Sunrise as we wait for an appeals court to decide if the president can send National Guard troops to Portland. Another option for the president. What could happen if he invokes the Insurrection Act in Portland? Plus, a deadly shooting at a pot shop. We find out the fate of the former store employee accused of killing 2 robbers. Your news starts now. Good morning, and thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Libby Dowsett. We will get to your headlines in just a minute. But first, let's check in with Corey Johnson for our first look at Saturday's forecast.
Yeah, Libby, it was a wet one for us overnight, and that rain continuing for us at this hour in some areas that we are seeing. Taking a look at satellite and radar right now, you can see that system that we've been monitoring offshore for the last few days has made its way inland. This is a live a look at radar. Currently, you can see near Tillamook and Astoria, where we have those showers currently taking place. East of Portland, near Battleground, the Mount Hood area, also seeing some wet conditions for us right now. This is our Wells Fargo Tower camera. Cloudy start for us as we kick off the morning. 53 degrees for us here. And then out in the Dalles, another cloudy day it will be as we move into the later parts of the morning. In Vancouver, cloud cover also thick for us as we kick off the morning. This is our Springs of the Waterfront camera. 53 for us there also. Taking a look at our temperatures right now, 50s across much of our area. It is sitting at 49 in Astoria, and then much cooler as you make your way east of Portland. 33 degrees right now in Baker City, so definitely a chilly one this morning. Taking a look at our temperatures as we get throughout much of the day, 53 right now, but as we get to noon, rising to about 56. The rain also remaining steady for us as we get into 1, 2 o'clock. 60 is looking like our high for today in Portland, but we'll break down the rest of your temperatures and when we can expect more of the rain coming up, Libby.
Thanks, Corey. Let's get right to the latest developments in the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland and other U.S. cities. This morning, we are still awaiting a decision from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals on whether President Trump is allowed to send troops. Right now, a lower court's ruling is blocking the Guard deployment, but the Ninth Circuit could overturn that or keep it in place. And there is another route the president could take, and one he's already threatened to do: invoke the Insurrection Act. Alma McCarty has more.
The Insurrection Act was actually passed in 1807, signed by Jefferson.
And more than 200 years later, the commander-in-chief has threatened to use it in cities across the U.S., including Portland.
It essentially says that the president, under certain circumstances, is allowed to send basically the federal military to come and enforce the laws of a state.
As recently as Friday, President Trump brought up the Rose City once again.
I hear how wonderful it is. It's not wonderful. It's a disaster. That's almost an insurrection, that place.
His comments teeing up another possible avenue to send troops to the ICE facility should the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals make a ruling preventing them from deployment. Here's Laura I. Appelman, a law professor at Willamette University.
It's possible that under the Insurrection Act, if he sends either the Oregon National Guard or even the militia, that they would actually be able to do regular law enforcement. This means stopping people, arresting them.
Appelman says the last time the act was used was in 1992, when President George H.W. Bush sent federal troops to L.A.
During the riots, at the specific request of both L.A.'s mayor, who happened to be a Democrat, and California's governor, who happened to be a Republican.
But this time around, Oregon leaders have repeatedly pushed back against the president's wishes.
We haven't seen it being applied to states, against their desires, really since the desegregation of schools.
And that was Alma McCarty reporting. Meantime, in the nation's capital, Oregon Senators Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden, along with 4 other Democratic senators in Illinois and California, are opposing the 2026 defense bill. It's all in protest of President Trump's deployment of troops in cities. They say it's unconstitutional and uses the military as political tools to threaten Americans' rights to protest. And stay with KGW for continuing coverage of the protest and legal battle over the Trump administration's attempts to send troops in. We will have the latest updates here on KGW.com and on KGW+. A former Westland doctor turned himself into the Clackamas County Jail Friday after a grand jury indicted him on sex abuse charges. David Farley pleaded not guilty during his first court appearance. Multiple women have accused Farley of unwanted sexual contact during what should have been routine doctor exams. The judges set Farley's bail at $500,000. In Washington, the state has reached an agreement in regard to a new law for reporting child sex abuse. Clergy members will not have to report allegations if the allegations are disclosed during confession. The new state law was meant to make it mandatory for Catholic priests and other faith leaders to report child sex abuse. Under the agreement, they will still have to report allegations if they are discussed outside of confession. The courts still have to approve the new exemption. Jurors acquitted a former Portland pot shop employee Friday who shot and killed 2 men during a robbery at a store. The break-in happened about a year ago at La Moda in North Portland. The jury in the case was asked to decide if Jason Steiner was acting in self-defense when he fired his gun. John Adams has our story.
It was an emotional afternoon in a Multnomah County courtroom for the man accused of murdering 2 people during an armed robbery last year. 35-year-old Jason Steiner, surrounded by members of his legal team, found out whether he would be convicted on multiple murder charges after a week-and-a-half trial. Steiner was the only employee working at the La Moda cannabis shop on the night of October 3rd, 2024, when surveillance video shows 3 masked men entering the store and holding Steiner at gunpoint. They eventually forced him out of the front door of the building. The video then shows Steiner going around the corner and grabbing a semi-automatic handgun out of his bag before returning and firing 13 shots. He then retreats across the street and plays this 911 call.
About the La Moda dispensary. I have 3 men charged on me. I just shot 3 of them.
Throughout the trial, the state argued Steiner could have just left the store after being forced out the front door, while his legal team claimed he was acting in self-defense. The jury delivered their verdict Friday afternoon.
Count 1, murder in the first degree, Tahir Burley, not guilty. Count 3, murder in the first degree, King Lawrence, not guilty.
Steiner was overcome with emotion after hearing the not guilty verdict. You can see him being consoled by his lawyers.
Steiner was also found not guilty on 3 counts of unlawful use of a weapon and 1 count of attempted murder. This morning, Vancouver police need your help finding a missing 71-year-old they believe is medically endangered. Miguel Angel Bagley was last seen around St. John's Boulevard Wednesday. He's 5'8", weighing 210 pounds, with brown eyes and a tan complexion. If you see Bagley or know where he is, call 911. Hundreds of people are back working on the new Bull Run filtration facility in Gresham. The $2 billion project was put on hold in February over a land use dispute between Portland and a coalition of farmers and land conservation groups. In June, after collecting more feedback from the public, Portland received the go-ahead to resume construction. Crews involved in the project say it's a welcome update.
It's all family wage jobs. It's also providing training for the next workforce that's coming through. We all hear about how there's going to be a shortage of labor and workers. This is an opportunity to build the next generation and do it effectively and responsibly.
This is one of the biggest projects in city history. Project leaders say the new facility will make treating Portland's drinking water more reliable. Right now, things like wildfires, landslides, and severe storms can cause disruptions. The project has a legal deadline to be mostly complete by late 2027.